Good morning, my name is Grace Keller, and today I will be examining the question, to what extent does social media directly fuel the sex trafficking of teen girls in the United States? My claim is that social media is a tool used by sex traffickers to more easily target, exploit, and sell teen girls into sex trafficking in the United States. My solution is that with the invention of new technology to track online traffickers and the creation and enforcement of new laws against sexual exploitation in the United States will make it more difficult for traffickers to use social media as a platform to contact, capture, and sell girls into sex trafficking. First, we must understand what human trafficking is in order for me to explain its correlation to social media. Human trafficking, defined by the National Institute of Justice, is a recruitment, transportation, transfer, harboring, or receipt of persons by improper means for an improper purpose, including forced labor or sexual exploitation. In this case, I will be focusing on sex trafficking or the sexual exploitation aspect rather than forced labor because most sex trafficking cases are sexual related. As you can see in this graph by American Society and Council of Americas, 55% of human trafficking cases in North America are sexual exploitation related, while 39% are forced labor and 6% are other. So social media is increasingly being exploited to contact, recruit, and sell children for sex, according to a study by University of Toledo Human Trafficking and Social Justice Institute. And now in the 21st century, we live in an era of technology where it's more common to communicate online rather than in face-to-face, which brings me to my first point. That social media is an easy tool for traffickers to quickly target and connect with vulnerable young girls, especially taking into account that social media is something that teenagers are constantly using. 95% of teens report that they have a smartphone or access to one, according to pewinternet.org. And going through social media rather than in person makes it easier for traffickers to hide their true identity and intentions. Quoted from the stimulus Social Media and the Movement of Ideas, when online, the ordinary rules of behavior are suspended, especially when people believe they are anonymous and no longer take responsibility for their words. According to ourrescue.org, there are 5 main tactics used by traffickers to control their victim: the pretender, provider, promiser, protector, and the punisher. But the most commonly used one online is the pretender. The pretender pretends to be something she is not, like a friend, boyfriend, or girlfriend to these victims. This is such an easy way for traffickers to gain trust of these young girls. Traffickers use common social media platforms like Instagram and Twitter to study what the victim posts, and they use this information to pretend to understand, to connect to these girls, to gain their trust. According to phys.org, social media helps to mask traditional cues that alert individuals to a potentially dangerous person. And 58% of victims eventually meet their traffickers face-to-face, while 42% who initially met their trafficker online and never met them in person are still trafficked. Social media not only makes it easier for traffickers to target victims via the online world, but also allows them to more easily sell and advertise their victims. Traffickers can place online sex ads and advertise them to a much larger audience because online ads go a lot further than typical street prostitution. And adult sections on mainstream classified websites allow an easy way for traffickers to market girls as commodities for sexual exploitation. But luckily, Congress passed FOSTA, or FOSTA, a law which holds internet companies accountable when they knowingly facilitate sex trafficking. However, not everyone is happy with FOSTA. Many are worried it will force platforms to police user speech, and there's even a lawsuit pending against the legislation. The plaintiffs, represented by the Electronic Frontier Foundation, called FOSTA an unconstitutional internet censorship law. While FOSTA is very beneficial, there's only so much it can do. It alone cannot end sex trafficking of girls online. But another effort being made is the creation of new technology to combat online sex trafficking, like DIG, which automatically collects data from all over the web, and which in this case it would be looking for sex ads, and it extracts key info like phone numbers and addresses so that it can track down these victims. So social media is used by traffickers to more easily target, recruit, and sell teen girls into sex trafficking. But there are constantly new technologies and laws being passed to combat this issue. Thank you. What questions do you have?
All right, Grace, got two questions for you. Thank you, by the way. Two questions for you. First up, how did you select the strategies you used to gather information?
Well, I decided to use resources given to me by the school, like Gale on the Launchpad, to find more specific sources to help me explain my research on this.
Okay, and second question, what additional questions emerged from your research as you were going along?
Well, as I was going along in this research, that's what brought me to want to know more about the different tactics, like I explained in my presentation, the tactics used by traffickers. So as I was going through my research, I wanted to know more specifically things they use to target and recruit these victims.
You're done. You can breathe.